What is up, everybody? Logan here again with another video, and look who's back, the man Errol Coleman. And you guys know him from watching the Tasty Works series that he's been doing with Tasty Trade, and it's really cool, seeing him trade alongside one other trader, Kayla. She's really cool, and he's been doing some really cool stuff. I know he dove into options trading with them, and we did a video back in February, and if we look at
Dang, it was February.
yeah, it's February, and we're
Jeez.
already in October, closing in on November, actually, which is just crazy how time just flies. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy to have you back, man. And I know that you're going to show us a couple little things you've been watching and some of your options positions. I know you mentioned coin. We're also going to look at Tesla, like you were saying, and there's a couple
Yeah.
other short positions that you want to touch on about Friday too. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm really excited to see how your options journey has been. Mine's been pretty solid over the past, year and since we chatted. But little bit of running into a little bit of issues right now, especially with Roku, which the Discord would know. And then, but everything else has been really fun, and it's been a great time. This, getting through the volatility was a little tough, but I really appreciate you coming back on, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, Logan. These are always fun. I can't believe it's last February, bro. Like time is really flying.
Yeah, what is that?
That's an
8 months?
understatement. Yeah. So
Crazy.
but I mean, just to kick it off, wow, Tesla, $1 trillion market cap. I'm not in Tesla or anything right now, but it's just interesting to start off on that. But if
Right.
anybody caught that breakout on the swing or whatever you traded it or however you traded it, congratulations, because what a move from Tesla. Tesla's always been resilient. So yeah, just crazy stuff. But so my kind of more recent options play that I got into was PayPal. I did get into it on the day that they released the news with Pinterest. And I saw that as a great opportunity to get along a little PayPal. I understood that like maybe I am getting in a little too early, but that's fine. I was getting into the options that at the time I think were around 35 days till expiration. So I had a lot of time on the contracts, and yeah, and I received a credit for it. So cool. I got theta working in my favor. That's always a cool thing about selling some of these options. And right now we got that pretty nice gap up from PayPal, but I'm still holding in there. I didn't sell out of my position
Mm-hmm.
because after the gap up, I actually was around break even. I was up a little in profit, but since I got in a slightly early on this first red day, I was down in the red. Then we got the gap up. Then I was around break even. But again, IV rank is still pretty solid. Volume is solid. And I mean, long term, regardless, fundamentally speaking, I like PayPal and I'm bullish on it long term. So
Yep.
that's just a little dip buy that I'm holding into PayPal right now. Nothing too crazy, nothing like super strategic or crazy, whatever it is. But PayPal is one I'm fond of. Have you been checking it out at all?
Yeah, I've actually kept my eye on PayPal mainly due to seeing Pinterest go up so much.
Mhm.
And then I saw PayPal sell off a bunch right
Yeah.
after the news
Oh,
came out.
wow.
And then Pinterest gapped down. So it's really interesting to see like they're just kind of bouncing off of
Like inverses from each other
yeah.
almost right now. Yeah.
It really is very bizarre to see. So I know it was great news for Pinterest. I think they were up like 7% the initial day, maybe 8,
Mhm.
maybe even 10. I think I
Yeah.
saw at one point, and I saw PayPal selling. It was down like 7%, and then the next day it was down 5. And I know the Qs were down on Friday, so that made sense to
Mhm.
me then. And here it is bouncing back a little bit today. Still looks, it's a really interesting spot, but I do like it here. I was looking at it on my charts, and I would love
Mhm.
to buy some sort of bullish position if we come down to 235. Um, that is such for me for what I was seeing is like my
Yeah.
price target. But yeah, if we don't even test it, shoot, it's still a great setup and a good time, I think, to get long. Like you said, the fundamentals are there. So yeah,
Yeah.
just I've been watching it just because of that news. And, it hasn't moved too quick in one direction or the other until the Pinterest news came out. And you can see the volume going
Right.
stupid.
Going crazy. Yeah.
Like
Jeez.
right when that
Yeah.
happened. So, for me, I've just been kind of waiting and seeing if it would drift down to it, and then I can get long there. But and as the price stays up, my price target will also raise. So if it doesn't come to 235, and maybe my next target's 240 for it.
I hear you.
But hey, we're only $10 off of that. So
I hear you. You might get it. So hopefully we get my move before we get yours, because then I'm just kidding. No, it's all good.
no,
But yeah.
honestly, I hope so too for your sake, because I'm not in any hurry to get in, but I've
Yeah.
been eyeing it a little bit.
Yeah. No, I got you. But yeah, PayPal, a little bit of coin. I got out of coins today on the nice move up. I got long a little bit into these pretty solid pullback days that we had last week, Thursday, Friday, and then I got out around 317. And again, like I was telling you right before this, like, of course I get out too early. I remember even just like, I'm about to click the button. I'm like, oh, I could get a little more. But then again, I always think back like, well, ain't nobody ever go broke taking profits. So
Right.
although, yeah, it keeps going up an extra $5, $6, $7, that's fine. I was looking for the quick dip buy on that. And as you can see, I like these dip buy kind of plays, like we just got into with PayPal. But yeah, coin long term, I like coin. And I don't know how you feel about coin or the sentiment just around coin in general, if you look to trade it. But yeah.
No, I like coin quite a bit. I really don't trade it very often. I think I've made one trade on coin. I think it was a put spread, or maybe it was a call spread back when it initially IPO'd. But
Okay.
no, I like coin. I always watch for setups on it, and I personally don't own any crypto, but I do like what Coinbase is doing, and I do like their entire business model.
Bro, you got to put at least $1 into crypto. Come on,
I know.
at least $1.
I did have a tenth of a Bitcoin that I bought at 40K, and I sold it at 44, and of course it's 67 now. But
yeah,
still,
and we might go back to 44. So you never know.
Yeah, it's crypto's just so much for me, and
yeah,
I've been liking the options so much and long term equity trading as well. So I
hear you.
I could see myself getting back into crypto, but it's gonna take some time.
I hear you. I hear you. But
yeah,
we're kind of switching gears here. What's that?
I said, here we go.
Yeah, we're switching gears here for sure. This is more of kind of the niche that I started out in the market before I even was introduced to options and things of the sort. But I really wanted to bring this up because this is probably something everyone's pretty much heard about, even if they don't trade small cap stocks. This is how volatile they can be. And this is just a great image about like market psychology and kind of the quick cycles we go through whenever there's like a kind of like a mini kind of bubble. Like human psychology tends to never change. And I wonder if I can actually bring up that chart here in a second, just so people have a better visual for what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can Google it real quick. See right here, we have just that first little run up. We have that massive move upwards, kind of that parabolic type move. And then we have that dip off the highs, which often can be a bull trap, thinking, oh, it's the first pullback. Maybe I can get back in on this run. And then we have the massive crash. And you can see on this chart, it shows a little bit of kind of what people are thinking or how their emotions are coming out to play on here. And you can just type in market cycles and look up some of these charts. And you can just see like even this one right here, they just go a little bit more in depth. But I want you to take this image in your mind and see how these really play out. So we have DWAC, and you can see how similar that looks. We get the little pump, the massive run up, the drop, the dead cat bounce, and then the fade off. And this doesn't mean that DWAC can't come back around and do whatever it wants to do, but this is how it kind of moves when people are very compulsive and action is just happening super fast. You can even take a look at the 2017 Bitcoin chart. When the hype died down, it looks very similar to this. And also when DWAC was running, we had PHUN running as well. And you can see how identical these charts are again, because it's kind of the same psychology. It doesn't really matter if it's a different type of stock or what price range. If you want another reference, you can check out KODK that spiked, what was it, not last summer, but the summer before that. Chart looks exactly like this. SPI last year in September, chart looks exactly like this. Just those parabolic type moves. And one thing that I kind of want to point out, we're not going to get too much into this. DWAC brought along a lot of sympathy plays. So of course there's PHUN that's literally identical to it, but there was also CRTD. And I want to share one of my mistakes on here and just something I learned, and then how I was able to capitalize on something off of this. And maybe somebody might learn something from my mistakes as well. But I'm going to go into last Friday's chart, right? If I can scroll over. Okay, so this is DWAC last Friday's chart. I was looking to short this one, right? So I short into this morning breakout, right? And now my risk is right above the high of day. And right away, I get stopped out because it comes back and breaches my risk. So cool, trade done, it's whatever. But one thing I should have been a lot more patient for is, since this is a sympathy play to DWAC, I shouldn't have shorted this or took my first entry position while DWAC is still going like a rocket. This is the morning DWAC had its parabolic move. Okay. You can see, yeah, so you can see right here. since this is a leader in the group, it's almost like sectors in a way. I don't want to compare them too much, but it's like finding Tesla. It's the biggest dog in the EV sector. And
Right.
usually if Tesla's breaking out, other EV stocks might be breaking out as well. And maybe if Tesla's dumping, maybe you don't want to buy the breakout on those other EV sectors. But that's how I'm going to kind of compare it for right now. So I'm shorting CRTD as this is making a parabolic move, which is the number one mistake right here, which I'll learn as I mature a little bit more and more as a trader. I shouldn't have taken that position until I get the crack of momentum on DWAC. So you can see right here, the crack of momentum you can see at the bottom came at 10:06. And if I go back to CRTD, once that momentum was broken at 10:06, this cracks its consolidation and fades off literally the same exact minute. So it's like DWAC was the head of the snake. And once that got cut, all the other sympathy plays were falling with it. So that's just something I should definitely keep in mind. And that's something that can give you a little more confidence and conviction when you're going into your trade. So it's almost like trading a tech stock and looking at the sector as a whole and things like that and kind of following along with it. Yeah. But that's a little bit about the small cap stocks. If you wanted to short this and you see the momentum cracking, you can short into the consolidation if you would like, risk the day high. And I mean, the risk to reward is there. You're risking about 860 to about $1 something. So $1 something is going to be a large risk depending on your position size. So you have to size in accordingly. Right. But you can see obviously great reward to be gained on the downside. But that was my mistake. I was a little too eager to short on that one. It's honestly such a rookie mistake. I'm not even going to lie. So it's just really about being presently and just consciously aware of what you're doing at all times when it comes to trading, because your emotions can definitely lead you into something without you even really wanting to take that trade or whatever the case might be. But just make sure you check everything off your list, check your surroundings, check your trading environment to make sure, okay, green light, it's a go. Let me take this trade. But I just wanted to share, CRTD with you and just how it's moving with some of those other stocks.
Yeah, that move is insane. I briefly saw and heard about everything on Friday just via social media, but I didn't really look too far into it. So, but yeah, look at those moves. Very textbook breakout and then get ready to get shorted for it to fade off through the day. And even today, it looks like it's fading off quite a bit.
Yeah, and I wonder if DWAC is fading off. Maybe that's you see what I'm saying? So it's like DWAC is fading off, so CRTD is going to fade off. PHUN might fade off, but yeah, that's what we're getting.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what it looks like we're seeing, and they're clearly both downtrending as of right now until the trend's broken. But
yeah,
and it's a green day and these guys are trending down. So it's a little counter trend, but that's just part of it being pumped up so much. Plus you can see too, like how far away we were from the mean at that morning when it got shorted. I mean, that thing came flying down it was up to 110 or something.
Yeah, it was 170.
Jeez.
175. Yeah, bro.
Okay, never mind. That's literally like falling 50% from highs. Wow.
Yeah. So these are I would say, like, you can trade these type of plays. Number one, the safer play is going to be coming after the big move is done. So after this massive crash, that's a textbook dip buy right here off its lows. And what helps you read those a little better is reading the level 2 and reading time and sales. So really reading the tape kind of skills can help you dip buy these after the crash and just seeing it reverse, because all the shorts that are in here as well, when they cover, it's going to cause a massive buying pressure because shorts have to buy to cover shares. And that creates a massive buying pressure along with all the longs that are trying to dip buy. So then you'll get that kind of a dead cat bounce. And then, on the reverse side, before that parabolic move, short sellers, number one, short sellers that are shorting this, you're crazy, because there's absolutely no daily resistance. It's free sky. This thing is free to go to 200 if it wanted to. But this move is caused by massive short sellers sizing in. Number one, we were in such a slow, dead market for so long. So there's a lot of thirsty short sellers, as I like to say, and they're going to get caught up in a position like this. And it happens at least once or twice every single year. That's why I mentioned SPI last year, because that was the ticker that ended the slow cycle for small cap stocks last year. And what a lot of these tickers do is whenever there's a big, massive boom, it only happens once or twice a year. that will attract so many newbie or novice traders to the market, which adds fresh liquidity to the small cap stocks, which then we get a lot of stocks that get chased up to crazy highs because people want to catch another move like DWAC. And then once they lose all their money, it slows back down. And then it's a slow
Right.
cycle. And then we get another big boom of a stock, attracts new money to the market, and they get kind of phased out of the market as they lose their money as time goes on. And it's literally like a never ending cycle. So it's
Right.
really
Yeah.
interesting.
Trader psychology right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spot
So,
on.
yeah.
Just crazy. So
Yeah.
crazy to see how money just moves around the market, especially when you're trading, like you said, small caps, and
Mm-hmm.
trader psychology definitely on the small caps.
Yeah.
Whenever
And
I
they're
hear,
very emotional.
oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
all just parabolic moves. It's not like our typical,
Mm-hmm.
S&P 500 trade, or our typical whatever other, if you're trading growth tech, or like a Carnival Cruise Line style,
Mm-hmm.
where it's the stocks that are kind of in certain sectors that aren't just like IPOs, or DWAC is a acquisition company, right? So
Right.
there's always a lot, and same with AMC, a lot more opportunity for those style of stocks to get picked up compared to large caps or the S&P 500. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and just there's so many different styles of trading, so many different niches of getting in the market and reading technical analysis or whatever it is. But not a one size fits all. But again, it's kind of nice to just know what's out there, what other people might be looking for, and just how other people trade other types of moves. So that's all I got for you right now, Logan. I kind of go on a little bit of a rant whenever I talk about these, but no, they're really intriguing, and it's always nice to hop on here and talk a little bit more. So
Absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate you coming back on for another video, and I definitely want to have you back on sooner than later.
yeah.
Hopefully for next time. Hopefully it's not another 6 months or 8 or whatever.
Dude,
It was at eight
yeah.
months now. Jeez,
Yeah, something like that. It's almost another year.
that's ridiculous. So
Yeah, bro.
yeah, we'll have you back on hopefully before Christmas, and we could keep up with these and keep up with your options trades. But I look
Yeah.
forward to seeing you trading with Tom in a little bit too.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I think it's gonna be cool, and the TikTok's still growing, and everything's you're just doing. You focus on the process, man.
No, I
That's the way to
appreciate
do
you,
it.
Logan.
Yeah, you
I
got
appreciate
it.
it. Yeah. But is that going to be it for today?
That's gonna be everything for us today. So if you
Cool.
guys want to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe on this video, it'd mean a bunch. And then also Errol's got a TikTok I'll link, and then he's also got a YouTube channel that I'll link below as well. And then you guys know that. Well, I mean, if you guys have any idea of the options world, Errol's on with Tom Sosnoff pretty much
Yeah.
every day, right?
Yeah. Actually, we have our newer segment now. We're ending that, and we have a new segment where Kay and I kind of just go into basic concepts of the options. So, what is a call? What is a put? What's a call spread? All that kind of stuff. And then on my YouTube channel, I'm starting a options for dummies kind of series. So, just learning and explaining a lot of the things that I thought was kind of complicated, and I want to break them down a little more. And then I'll share them on my channel for anybody that's a beginner. What's a call spread? Intrinsic value, extrinsic value? Like, what are you talking about? I will explain those basic concepts. So that's kind of what I'm getting into now.
Perfect. Well, that's
Yeah.
the way to do it, man. And I'm super happy to have you back on again, and we'll have to recap, and I'll come help out with those too at some point.
Yeah. Sounds good.
It'd be cool.
Thanks, Logan.
Yep, you got it, man.